Which 4A build will you be running this weekend at the American Grand Prix in Cota? Hey guys, Jay here, and this is F1 Fantasy Focus. Let's get into it. Hi guys, so in this video we're going to be focusing on looking at a 4A build for this weekend at the American Grand Prix in Cota. I'm starting off here with the cheapest 4A build that you can make in F1 Fantasy at the time of this recording. The cheapest 4A build you can build is Red Bull, Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton as your ×2, Charles Leclerc, Bortoleto, Gasly and Colapinto. This build will cost 117.3 million. Now we're going to look at the most expensive build. So this is McLaren, Ferrari, Lando Norris as your ×2, Max Verstappen, Alexander Albon, Antonelli, Yuki Tsunoda. This build costs a whopping 163.4 million, which, let's be real, pretty much none of us have this. It's a budget we can only dream of. So let's be sensible, and we're going to go with a maximum budget of 130. Some teams will have more, some teams will have less, which is why I'm going for 130. The ideal budget that you would want around about now is 135. I'm a little less on that, but we're going to go with 130 because I think that's a nice average, whether you've got more or less. The next thing we're going to do is we're only going to use assets that are likely to increase in budget this weekend. So we're taking out any assets that are likely to decrease in budget. And so that leaves us with these three best recommended teams on the weighted average sims. The trouble with these builds, Team 2 and Team 3 come with racing balls, which means they only come with one A constructor, McLaren, but they do come with two A drivers, Verstappen and Russell. Team 1, however, comes with two A constructors, McLaren and Red Bull, but only one A driver in Verstappen. So we're going to take out all the B constructors, so Racing Bulls, Williams, Aston Martin, HAAS, Kick and Alpine, and that gives us this. And so that gives us these three teams. Now, the good thing is we've now got two A constructors for each team, McLaren and Red Bull or McLaren and Mercedes, but we've only got one A driver in Verstappen, and points-wise, there's not any difference really between the first builds that I showed you. We're going to take out Antonelli because he's expensive at 15.1 for a B tier driver, and that gives us this. We now have a 4A build in Team 2. Red Bull, Mercedes, Verstappen, Russell, Behrman, Sainz, Alonso, costing 128.4 million. But you'll notice the points are less. They're only 208.7 estimated points with a 2.6 budget rise. The other problem we've got is McLaren are the highest scoring asset in F1 Fantasy right now, averaging 79.7 points per race weekend. So we're going to make sure that McLaren is included in our team, and that gives us this. So we've got three teams here, McLaren and Red Bull in Team 1 and 2, and we've got McLaren and Ferrari in Team 3. But again, we've now got the problem of only one A driver in Max Verstappen. Also, points are less, budget growth is around the same. We're now going to take out Oliver Behrman and Fernando Alonso, and we're going to make Oscar Piastri, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton available for selection. And we now have three 4A builds. In Team 1, we've got McLaren and Mercedes with Piastri as your ×2, Russell, Sainz, Lawson and Gasly. In Team 2, it's the same build, but we've got Lewis Hamilton instead of George Russell. And in Team 3, we've got McLaren and Red Bull with Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Lawson and Gasly. You'll notice Team 1 now has more points than the previous teams that I've showed you. So we've got McLaren in our team, and that's great because they're the best overall scoring asset. But now we're going to turn our attention to Max Verstappen because he's on a bit of a winning streak. He's doing really well at the moment, and he should be a good pick for this weekend. So we're going to make sure that Verstappen is now in our team. And that gives us this. We still have a 4A build. Points look good. The only difference between the builds is that Team 1 has Sainz, Team 2 has Alonso, and Team 3 has Bortoleto. Otherwise, you're looking at McLaren, Mercedes, Verstappen is your ×2, and George Russell. These could be good builds for this weekend because Verstappen and Russell are the two A-tier drivers most likely to increase in budget. We saw McLaren are currently the top highest scoring asset overall, but what about drivers? Well, Norris is currently the highest scoring asset overall for drivers with 31.6 points on average every race weekend. Piastri is a close second at 31.2. Verstappen is on 26.8. Russell is on 23.9. And then we've got Hamilton and Leclerc who are trailing quite behind. So Norris for me is too expensive at 30.8 million. So we're now going to make sure that Piastri is in our team. Granted, Piastri is expected for a price drop this weekend, but he's been our main go-to for our 2-times driver for the season, and we're trying to spread our budget across the team. I also did another experiment with Russell being a priority because he's a cheaper A driver, he's expected for a price increase, and his form is really good. Whether I chose Piastri or Russell as must-haves in the team, I got the same results, and that was this. Team 1 comes with McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Russell, Bearman, Sainz, Gasly. Team 2 comes with McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Russell, Bearman, Bortoleto, Gasly. And Team 3 comes with McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Russell, Bearman, Sainz, and Colapinto. Overall, these are the highest scoring team based on the weighted average sims for this weekend at the Circuit of the Americas. So, conclusion. McLaren is a must-have. Now, don't get me wrong, Piastri and Norris are going to be fighting for the championship, and so providing they keep it clean, we should be okay. Just based on the asset, the McLaren asset, they are the highest scoring asset in the game. They are a must-have. My second constructor pick is Mercedes. The main reason is their value. They're the cheapest for a asset, and so that gives us more money to spread across the rest of our team. Granted, it does come with Antonelli, and Antonelli can be a hit and miss. Red Bull would come with Yuki Tsunoda, same thing. Ferrari would be ideal, but they're too expensive to spread your money across your team. The other benefit with Mercedes is they come with George Russell, who has been a solid performer throughout the season. Which brings me to George Russell. For me, George Russell is my second driver pick moving forward as things stand. And then it's a case of Oscar Piastri or Max Verstappen as your 2-times DRS boost driver. And so for me, these are the 4 assets that you want in your team moving forward. I'd love to know where your thoughts are and what 4A build you're looking at this weekend. And that is it from me for this video, guys. Hopefully it was short and sweet. Just some more thoughts moving forward for the rest of the season. Please let me know what teams you're looking at building this weekend, and I will speak to you real soon, most likely next week when we start our plans for Mexico. All the best. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.